And we welcome you to the 2025 NCAA Women's Lacrosse quarterfinals here today from Gainesville, the Florida Gators and the Duke Blue Devils for the right to move on to semifinal weekend next weekend in Foxborough, Massachusetts. This should be a fun one here. The winner of this matchup here in this quarterfinal game takes on the winner of North Carolina and Princeton. That is later tonight. Northwestern right now leading Penn by 4 in our first quarterfinal round matchup. We welcome you here to Gainesville. Mike Corey alongside former All-ACC Virginia midfielder Dana Boyle. Excited for this matchup, Dana. How good are each of these two teams playing right now?
Well, this is a different team for Duke women's lacrosse. They got bullied in the ACC tournament, lost to Clemson, and they're paying their best lacrosse right now in NCAA postseason. And then for Florida, this is a team in 2024 that went to the national semifinals. So you think, are they going to rebuild? But they've reloaded, and a big part of that starts with some of their younger players, Mike.
All right, well, players to watch here. Let's begin with Gianna Monaco here for the Florida Gators and what she's done so far this season for them.
Mike, she's been the lead dog on attack. Only Gator to return to this 2025 Florida team with 20-plus points from last season's Final Four team. She leads the team in goals, but what I love about her play is she's so dynamic. She scores in different ways, above the cage, off a feed, behind the cage. Also, this Florida team, they love assisted goals. They understand ball rotation, and it makes them so hard to stop whether they're facing a man or a zone defense, Mike.
71 goals on the season. It's been outstanding, 8th in the nation. What about Bella Goodwin, number 9 for the Duke Blue Devils?
It's hard to believe she got limited minutes as a freshman. Now in her sophomore season, she is the Energizer Bunny on the offense for the Duke Blue Devils. She had 6 goals and 1 assist versus Virginia. She scores in a variety of ways, similar to Gianna Monaco. These two attacks are so similar because they have so much star power all over the field. All 7 attackers are a legitimate threat to score, and she just brings the energy. She's got power behind her shot, and she makes this offense go.
Gators with 19 wins on the season, coming in at 19-2, 5-0 in their conference play. Duke at 14-5, 6-3 in conference play. We're just looking it up, and you can break it down here for us. But Florida has won 91 games in the past 5 seasons, including this one.
And what's so impressive to me is that they don't play a competitive in-conference schedule. They don't. That's not a secret. That's no disrespect to anybody that they play in the regular season, but they play their best lacrosse in postseason. They made it to the national semifinals last year and competed really hard. And now they're able to do that again, not playing in the most competitive conference in the Big 12. They just bring the fire.
How about the temperature today? 93 degrees right now at game time. Feels like 95, as if it had to be a few more degrees hotter out here.
A little bit of a breeze down there. I did go down pregame, but still very hot.
Now, what about the discrepancy at the draw today, Dana? What are we looking for here as we see the opening one for the day?
Woodings is going to take the draw for Florida, but they don't necessarily have a draw specialist similar to men's lacrosse, face-off, get-off. For Duke, they do, and Carrie Neese, and they rotate a lot with Ellie White. So they've got 2 options. Really, for Florida, it's going to be the 3v3 unit. Ball on the ground, and who's going to get it?
Just underway here today from Florida. Our first quarterfinal round matchup just went final. Northwestern knocking off Penn 17-12. Final score there. So Northwestern moving on to the semifinals. We'll see who will join them here in quarterfinal game number 2. Florida with the ball to start here. Welcome everyone who just witnessed Northwestern knocking off Penn. We welcome you to Gainesville, Florida here for quarterfinal matchup number 2 with the Gators and the Blue Devils. We're just underway. Florida won the opening draw. Mike Corey, Dana Boyle with you here, and the Gators still have it on the offensive end less than a minute into the game.
And what a competitive effort by Penn in that first quarterfinal game. Anna Brandt as advertised. Also Madison Taylor, not a bad outing for her, with her 6 goals, 4 assists on 9 shots, so super efficient.
First shot of the game here for Clark Hamilton. For Florida on the rebound, they score it. And a great job there to pick it up and put it in. It was Josie Hahn that scores it for the Gators. 1 minute and 12 seconds in, they lead it 1-0.
And this will be an important area of focus, Mike. Florida is going to have to make it a 3v3 game at the draw circle in order to get possession, and they did just that off the 50-50 ball.
Franny Hahn, I apologize, on the goal here on the rebound. 16, her sister.
The Hahn sisters.
Yes.
They do look alike. But amazing job just getting the ball 50-50 off the draw circle, Mike, transitioning into the offensive end, and they just work the ball around so well. They get it behind, invert to kick up front.
Here we go, Duke! Let's go, Duke!
Back to the draw here.
Yeah, Duke! What up, Duke?
And the Blue Devils, their first opportunity offensively here in this game, 1-0 Florida.
And that's a value add when you do have a draw specialist like 41, Carrie Niche. She won it directly to the circle, and Caitlin Barrett, they get a clean possession in their offensive end.
Total of 13 first quarter goals versus JMU and Virginia for the Duke Blue Devils here into the tournament. Here's Ava Pronti. Works it behind the net. Bernstein, and a whistle against Florida here, and we're going to have a card as well.
That'll be a yellow card, so she will sit for 2 minutes.
Goes against Teresa Bragg, junior defenseman.
And that's their mainstay on defense. So tough personnel to have sitting for 2 minutes. Now that penalty is releasable on a Duke score.
So a free position for Carly Bernstein here for Duke to try to tie this game. Gonna bring it back out.
Good decision. With just about 89 seconds left on the shot clock. Pull it out, work for the best shot.
Woodward. Back up top. Woodworth again. Eddie Shearer. Bernstein in front, in the middle, off the post, and the shot that time from Callie Hem. And the rebound fought for, recovered by Duke nicely by Caitlin Barrett. And the Blue Devils still have it.
It's a great second possession by Duke. Now they're facing a man defense, and primarily this season they've faced zone, so little time to prepare for the man-to-man style of defense that Florida runs.
No.
Bernstein. Some top. Over to Woodworth. Still 30 to shoot. Now in the middle. Firing away. That time is Ava Biancardi, and it's going to be Duke or Florida possession.
I would have liked to see a little bit more rotation in terms of personnel. There's a lot of standing and watching adjacent. You beat a zone by moving your feet, moving the ball, but you also have to move personnel. It's like the old school lacrosse when you're young and they teach you pass and cut through. You've got to move the man-to-man defense in Florida.
Great job by the defender Celeste Forte, who was closest to it to get it back for the Gators as they lead it 1-0 on the goal from Franny Hahn here early on. 30 seconds left on the penalty. Down inside at 10 seconds left on the Gator penalty.
They're going to wait
Yep.
for that penalty to run out. Because they're playing on 6 on 7 right now.
Hamilton's got it. Flips it, knocked out of the stick that time. Well, Caitlin Davies, but it's recovered by Florida. Jenny Markey.
Great back check by Amanda Passy.
And now the shot and the score for Clark Hamilton. She takes it in and makes it 2-0 Gators.
Clark Hamilton has really come into her own as of late. You can tell she's playing with so much more confidence, and she is in Florida royalty in terms of company. Emma Lapinto, who transferred to Boston College after a standout career as a Gator, she's in that same company. She's a track star. Number 3 impact freshman this season by Inside Lacrosse. She's really delivered on those high expectations. Second freshman in Gator history to record 52 goals. Mike, the only other player? Our dear friend Emma Pinto.
There you go.
Who currently still plays for the Boston College Eagles.
That's pretty impressive. You see Amanda O'Leary and this Florida team right now who've won 19 games, trying to get back to the semifinals. Would be their 3rd appearance in the semifinals. A win today would tie their most wins in history, which they had last year with 20. So Franny Hahn and Clark Hamilton, the first 2 goals of this game here for Florida. As Woodings again still taking the draw for Florida. Karen Neese for Duke. Scooped up by the Gators, Caitlin Davies. What about this offense overall? I mean, coming into this season, they had lost a lot, Florida.
They returned 4 starters on their team. You would think a Florida team who made it to the national semifinals. Oh, that's a great goal. She's going to be in the crease.
Waved off.
I mean, this Florida team, Mike, to your point, loses Danielle Pavanelli, only player in program history to rank top 5 in points, goals, assists, 3rd in assists, 3rd in points, 4th in goals, and then they lose Maggie Hall as well. First player in program history to reach 100 career assists. You don't think a team then would be that successful. It has nothing to do with the talent that they have on the field, but they haven't been developed yet.
Right. Losing 75% of the scoring coming into the season. And it certainly doesn't look like it the way they have been winning games, 19-21.
And kudos to Amanda O'Leary, the head coach, for working your bench, developing your bench so that when it's their time to shine, there's no drop-off.
Goalkeeper for Florida, Elise Fennell, junior.
You talk about experience, has experience playing in a national semifinal. Comfortable in cage.
It was almost 3-0. The goal from Gianna Monaco waved off as she was in the crease. Still 2-0 though, Florida. 6 minutes gone by. Here's Ava Pronti, goes behind the net for Shearer. Looking for cutters, nothing there. Shot clock's inside 20, back to Pronti. And they tried to flip it over to Goodwin. And it's a hold against Duke, and it's Florida possession.
Yeah, Goodwin's got to go through. Goodwin just brought her defender
right in the same
to the
area.
ball, and it's like you jump a double, like in basketball. That's what happened.
Hamilton. Cutting, shooting, and scoring is Gabby Corey on the feed from Jordan Basso. How about that transition for the Gators?
This is where Florida can really hurt you in transition. Hamilton, one-woman clearing machine, and they move the ball, Mike, so well. Assisted goals are their MO, and you can't stop ball movement. It moves too quick.
3 goals on 4 shots to get things started for Florida. Timeout here by Duke. We will return. 8 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Gators off and running here, trying to get a trip to the semifinals.
Memorial Day savings start now at the Home Depot. So whether you're working on a getaway just for you or a space to celebrate with friends, find everything to make it your place with savings from the Home Depot.
Krista, it's time to fess up.
About?
You're over 45 and still haven't screened for colon cancer.
But I feel great. I get like 20,000 steps a day in heels.
Okay, but if you're 45 plus, you should screen even if you feel healthy. So ask for Cologuard. It's a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive.
No prep, and you use it at home.
False positive and negative results may occur. Those at high risk should use colonoscopy.
Skip the drama. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online.
AE drink spray? AE drink spray.
look like Anthony Edwards? Practice. You want a refreshing drink? Obey your thirst. And I tried to tell him, man.
Oh, I know. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Welcome back. Florida leads it 3-0 already. Here's a look at what they've done so far this season on a 16-game winning streak here. Dana, they haven't lost since all the way back to March 1st.
Amanda O'Leary, such an impressive job this year, losing the talent that they lost in 2024. They came in with 11 newcomers and 3 transfers, so this team very much personnel-wise looks different than the team that we saw last year who made it to the national semifinals.
How about what Kirsten Kimmel, though, and Duke have done? They've really picked it up here as of late.
To be honest, Mike, it's been a complete turnaround. They got bullied by Clemson in the ACC tournament. 18 turnovers, and they're playing inspired lacrosse. Their offense has been on fire against James Madison. They neutralized Kate Gallica at the draw, beating Virginia. So impressed with what they've been able to do in this postseason.
Duke in the first quarter has done a really nice job in this tournament so far against James Madison up 7-2, UVA 6-3. But right now, trailing 3-0 early as we're nearing the halfway point of this first. They do win this draw here. Let's see what they can do offensively.
They just haven't really had the ball.
Right.
This man-to-man defense for Florida is suffocating. You saw on that last possession, they transition it down and get the quick goal.
17th quarterfinal appearance for the Blue Devils. First since 2021. They've made it to 7 semifinal appearances. The last time was 2015, so that's what's at stake here today for them. And a trip to Foxborough, Massachusetts next weekend. Ava Pronti for Maddie Shearer for Callie Hem. All Hem did last week, Dana, was score 7 goals, so not too bad there for number 40 in blue.
And we were all talking after the JMU game, no way Virginia's going to let her have a multi-goal game. Well, she dropped 7. Not so bad.
Pretty good defense so far here by Florida. Bernstein on the roll back, nothing is there. Throws it on Cage, and it's scooped up by Fennell.
Yeah, not the shot there. You've got to move Fennell. She's a big body in Cage, she's tall. You got to change your levels with the stick. So that was caught high and shot high. Diversify the angles in which you release from to make the goalie have to guess. Fennell didn't have to move off her line there.
We talked to Coach O'Leary about this week. They've got a couple of really good goalkeepers here. Also Georgia Hoy, who's seen a lot of time this season as well. Fennell is 13-0 on the year. Hoy is 6-2, but has had a lot of time out there as well.
And that's such a luxury when you have 2 keepers that you can interchange. That save there by Kennedy Everson.
Yeah, the shot from Hamilton. Ball's loose. And a whistle against Florida here. Duke ball. Yeah, but to your point about the goalkeepers, and it's not about like one of them's not really playing well, so we got to make a change. It's like they both are really good. Let's get them in there and see a concerted amount of action so they can play throughout the season together.
And to your point, sometimes it can be situational. Like you change up the face-off.
Right.
You change up your offensive personnel, like men's lacrosse, they do it all the time, running 1, 2, 3 mini lines. It can be situational, and we saw in that Stanford game for Florida, both goalkeepers got time. Fennell came back in the 4th quarter, but you have to think, did a little bit of rest, reset on the sidelines help?
Really good job there by Duke to get it over. Nice job here, and it's back to Pronti. I mean, Fennell, she beat UNC, Virginia, and Maryland in the NCAA tournament last year, so there's nothing wrong with that. The job that she's done as a junior goalkeeper for Florida. Duke trying to get on the board for the first time today. Save again on the shot that time from Barrett. Solid start for Elise Fennell. Resets the shot clock to 60.
I liked that take on the left side. But again, to her body, you've got to shoot at the net. I know that makes it sound really easy, but you do have to shoot at the net. Don't look at the goalie, look at the net.
There's Callie Hem. Duke is 0 for 4 shooting so far in this game. Hem behind the cage. Pronti. Celeste Forte guarding her. Now it's Caitlin Barrett. Nice move by Barrett. She shoots and scores. And Duke is on the board for the first time in this game. The freshman Caitlin Barrett.
This is almost the same dodge, Mike, as we saw right here. Fennell makes the save. Barrett goes down the same alley again, but the difference in why that ball went in the net is that she shot at the net. She shot around Fennell, and she still went hard to cage. She still turned that corner. Caitlin Barrett played with the U20 team this summer, and you have to think that was huge for her growth. Such a contributor on both ends of the field. And Kirsten Kimmel was telling us this week that, so happy for her in this postseason because she struggled with her shooting percentage as of late.
12th goal of the season, second in the NCAA tournament. Great job by our crew there going back to that previous possession that you well described. It's the exact same thing.
And it's a great teaching moment. It's a great teaching moment if you're a young lacrosse player. Like, that was the same dodge, same line to cage, but she changed up her angle on the release.
It's almost like practice there, right? Where you're like, okay, I went right at her. Now next time I do it again, I'm going to find a better spot, and she did. And Barrett, who Coach Kimmel has said has been instrumental and makes plays defense as well and causing turnovers, and someone who's really taken a step forward in the postseason, and they needed that there by her. First goal coming just under 5 minutes in this first quarter is now 3-1. Markey feeds into the middle and scoring right off the bat. Corey again. Gabby Corey. What a catch, turn, and fire for the 4th goal of the game for Florida.
Number 24 in white, just a sophomore. 6 multi-goal game this season. Florida is going to make you pay in the paint, and that's the 8-meter. They thread the needle so well. They're so unselfish. Duke has to be aware of closing that middle. You cannot let any Florida player hang out in the 8-meter like that. Great job dissecting the defense.
Well, and here's the thing, as we talk about it all the time and how important the draw is, right? We all know that. 3 draw control wins for Florida, and they've scored immediately on the ensuing possession 2 of those 3 times, so they're taking advantage of it.
And sometimes that stat, we always talk about it in lacrosse, can be misleading. Like, yes, you're winning the face-off, you're winning off the draw, but what are you doing when you win it? Duke has had some empty possessions where they're winning the draw and they don't go down and score, but Florida's capitalizing on any win that they get. And they're getting it to the circle like that, so it's becoming a 3v3 game, and they're just the first to the ground.
To the first round playoff game at Syracuse last weekend, where the Orange had won like 26-4 at the face-off, and they had to go to overtime and win it by 1.
Exactly, that's a perfect example of that.
But it could really be effective late stages of the game, right? When you win, score, that's when it really hurts, and that's what we were fearful in that game coming in. But
or you have the opposite example, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Will Lynch dominating at the dot, and they controlled and dominated possession for 3 quarters.
Here's Clark Hamilton, who already has a goal for Florida. They've been moving the ball nicely here on the offensive end. Gianna Monaco controls it now, 27 in white. She makes a move. Monaco shoots and scores for the Gators. 5-1.
Gianna Monaco, one of those key players that returned with only 20-plus points from last season, so major contributor. They left her on an island. You can't do that if you're Duke defensively. Nice right-left split dodge. They've got to help. They've got to send help defensively. Monaco's going to make you pay there. She's the team leader in goals.
They literally cleared out the whole area.
It's an isolation play, and defensively, Duke has to recognize that. Like, if Monaco is at the top, you have to send help. Not late, but immediately.
They cleared it out and gave a one-on-one for one of the best scorers in the game right now, 8th in the nation with 72 goals.
And there's nothing Kennedy Everson, the Duke goalie, can do about that. I mean, she's one-on-one with one of the best players, one of the best shooters.
You know, and here's the other problem early. That's 5 goals now for Florida by 4 different players. So see what Duke can do differently defensively here. They've got it now as they bring it over. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of action. You're watching the quarterfinals, second quarterfinal round matchup of 4 here today on ESPNU. Congratulations to Northwestern. 17-12 win over Penn. They have advanced to Gillette Stadium next weekend.
Kudos to the Penn team and head coach Karen Corbett. I mean, they made that difficult for Northwestern. Anna Brand as advertised, but they didn't have an answer for Madison Taylor.
They did battle. It was a close game. The Northwestern pulling away to get the win at home. Blue Devils, Bernstein swings back, goes down. Whistle against Florida there, defending with Sam Hughes. Crowd not happy with it. So here's Bernstein now. Fans still upset.
Very upset.
With the call.
Very passionate Duke fans.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we saw up here, good defense, but I'm assuming the officials thought extension of the arms into the body, goggles fell off. Sam Hughes is going to go behind.
They're adjusting the game clock. It's going to be 2:03 left here in the first. Okay, what did you see, Dana?
Oh, that's an extension of the arms. That sure is. Nothing egregious, but that is a rule in women's lacrosse. Point of emphasis for the officials, so good call.
Bernstein was 10 of 20 on free positions this season, but bring it back out here. Now goes to Maddie McDonald for Duke. They sit behind here for Pronti. Trying to find, looked like maybe Hem there, 40. Bernstein's going to pick it back up. The shot clock is down to 12. Bernstein, bouncer scooped up by Fennell.
That broken play to me tells me that defensively Florida is making Duke so uncomfortable. I mean, that skip pass, you got to connect if you're going to do that.
So now it's back to Monaco here for Florida.
You know, this is a situation, Mike, where it's hot outside. Your defense is playing a lot of time if you're Duke. You got to take care of the ball offensively.
Well, there's a 4-second differential here between the shot clock and the game clock of this first quarter, so you believe they probably will bring it down and try to get something on near the end, not allowing Duke another opportunity here in the first. It's already a 5-1 lead for Florida.
You usually see in this situation clock awareness, kudos to Florida, but they'll probably start to run something around that 30-second mark, get into some sort of motion offense. They want the ball last. It's smart.
Gabby Corey gives it over now to Davies, back over to Monaco. Monaco again, trying to go one-on-one, goes right by her defender, shoots over the top of the cage. The backup is there. It's going to be Florida possession. There's another ball on the field, so the officials going over to kick that one to the sideline. It's going to be Franny Hahn to put it back in for Florida. 18.7 to go, 14 to shoot. Hahn looking, finds Davies. Davies has it, works her way in. The stick check from behind prevents a possible goal there. And we got a whistle here on Duke. Let's check this trail check here. A little bit high. So 7.8 seconds to go in the first. 4 on the shot clock. Caitlin Davies here now, number 5 for Florida.
She'll be on the hanging hash. I'm not entirely sure what they called. If Davies is on the hanging hash, somebody has to go behind her. There we go.
There you go. Okay. You're right. Yep. Davies. She scores it. 1 on the shot clock. 5.4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Counted for the Gators.
She was in the crease.
Or did they say in the crease? They waved it off. Wow. No goal. Stays 5-1. That's twice today, Dana, that they've had goals waved off for being in the crease. Davies and Monaco. Now they're talking it over here. 2.1 seconds to go. Let's take a look. Here we go. There's a clock issue as well here, too.
And the officials are going to review it, Mike.
All right, so here you go.
So is any part of her foot on the line?
That left foot there.
And that was an official review. The officials signaled from the center circle their review.
They're also looking at the clock as well, too. All right, so that right foot seems okay. It's that left one right there at the top.
But it's hard to tell if there's... It's difficult to tell.
Yeah. Initial right foot looked good. The left foot looked like it landed on the top, and then the right foot was outside. I mean, Davies had 5 goals in the last game, including the double overtime game winner for Florida to even be in this position today in the quarterfinals. It's been a fast start here for Florida and Coach O'Leary and company, 5-1. We're waiting to see what the call is and what time is left on the clock here this first quarter. But if the goal is taken off the board, I mean, think about 2 goals that could have been for Florida for being in the crease. It would be 7-1.
So we're being told by our producer, Adam Coppinger, that they're looking at the clock.
So far, goals by Franny Hahn, Clark Hamilton, Gabby Corey with 2 in a row, and then Gianna Monaco. The clock probably should have just kept going, and the half should have ended after they called the in the crease, and then Duke had the ball, and then all of a sudden you got 2.1 on the clock here. We'll see if they just... Is that the end of the quarter? Yeah. Yeah, it's the end of the quarter. Okay, so no goal, in the crease, stays 5-1 Florida. We've reached the end of one. When we come back to Gainesville, start of the second quarter, you're watching the 2025 NCAA Women's Lacrosse quarterfinals on ESPN.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
Make the most of Memorial Day at the Home Depot.
So what are you working on?
We're adding some color.
Bringing summer inside.
All in one coat.
14 days of Memorial Day savings are happening now at the Home Depot.
Yes, my salad is here. Thank you, DoorDash.
I love Dash Pass by DoorDash. It helped me save on ramen for the whole crew.
So what's better, your food or the savings you get with Dash Pass?
Tough call.
Here's a better question. What are we gonna do with the rest of these bowls?
We got that covered. Stacking wins in here.
Dash Pass by DoorDash, your door to more savings.
The NCAA Women's Lacrosse National Championship game is Sunday, May 25th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Welcome back to Gainesville, Florida. 93 degrees here today. Mike Corey, Dana Boyle, quarterfinals of the tournament. Winner to Foxborough next week in the semifinals. And it's a 5-1 lead for Florida. And Duke has a little bit of work to do here. Kirsten Kimmel, 31st season, the only coach in Duke women's lacrosse history, leading the program since 1996. Was at Davidson for 1 year prior to that, and trying to get her team back to their 8th semifinals in history for the first time since 2015.
And Mike, they have had a complete turnaround from their regular season. We saw them last in the ACC tournament get bullied by Clemson, and then they just went on a tear. James Madison, Virginia, offensive explosion, but we haven't seen that through one quarter here today. They've got to win the draw, and they've got to be responsible with their possessions.
Of course, a ton of time to turn it around here, but you look at the last two losses versus Clemson and UNC for this Duke team. They only had one goal in the first quarter in each of those two games as well. Obviously a little different here. But it's 5-1, not insurmountable, but a great start for the Gators, and they're trying to tack on some more, and the shot here by Davies is off the mark and backed up by Franny Hahn.
They're so fast, too, with their offensive movement. They understand ball rotation. It's going to go to Duke. Oh.
Davies ran into the crease, that's why. Yep.
Oh, you gotta help!
Bunch of those today already here. Pronti for the Blue Devils, brings it over. Ava Pronti.
I mean, when I watch Duke transition, we just watched Florida do it. Florida's a few steps ahead. Maybe it's the heat, maybe it's the travel.
Looked a little bit faster, you're right, a little bit more on the mark here.
There's a real benefit to hosting. This is Florida's first time hosting since 2014. They're used to the heat.
Here's Bella Goodwin for Duke. Now in a shot this time from Reese Woodworth. Off to the right, Pronti's there to put it back in.
I liked that shot, I did. But when you don't get a lot of shots on the offensive end in the first quarter, you almost feel rushed. Take that extra second, again, shoot at the net.
No, it's a good point, Dana, because then you don't want players thinking, all right, I got to be the one here to make something happen and just put ill-advised shots on. Bernstein on the shot that time doesn't go. Pronti the rebound, tries to dish it in front for Barrett. It's going to be scooped up though here by Bernstein. The shot clock is at 7. Bernstein trying to make a move. Bouncer, that's not going to have enough meat on it, and it's scooped up by Fennell.
It's too easy for Florida defensively. Look at this transition.
They had 3 shots in that possession, Duke did, but yeah, you're right. I mean, working it over very quickly. It's 75-plus seconds now to work with here on the offensive end.
And this is what Duke didn't do on their offensive end. They settled it down. They brought it behind.
Trying to work through a double team there. Monaco retains it here for Florida. Over to Hamilton. Gabby Corey has it. She's scored 2 goals already here for the Gators, 24 in white. Now finds Josie Hahn. Hamilton working on the man to Pacey, goes by her. The shot is on the way, and it's saved by Everson.
Much needed save. Now what can Duke do with it, Mike?
Second save of the game for Everson. We'll see. Bringing it over now is Barrett.
Like, they've got to recognize that defensively, Duke put their time in on the defensive end. Now offensively, you got to take care of business. It's now your responsibility. Move the ball around. I'd like to see them start behind.
Okay.
You're good, Tim. You're good, Tim.
Here's Pronti, and she does that.
Behind. Ball behind. Ball behind.
But she has it too long. Like, she has to get rid of it. You have to let the ball stay hot, is what they like to say in lacrosse.
Barrett.
Like, she's had the ball for 10 seconds. Florida doesn't have to do anything defensively. She still has the ball. She brought it behind, then she brought it back up, then she kicked it. Like, I'd like to see the ball move just a little bit quicker for Duke offensively. You've got to make Florida work.
They got an opportunity here now with Barrett. The 8-meter. Caitlin Barrett. Over 10 this season on free positions. She passes it up to Pronti. Pronti gets hit in the head. And here comes a card. Yellow card. Gabby Green got called for it there, the freshman. Here it is again. Yes.
That's a good call by the officials.
Right into the neck there of Ava Pronti.
And again, they're both moving so fast. Like, not intentional, but that's not allowed in women's lacrosse.
So 2-minute penalty here. Duke with a player advantage and trying to pick up their second goal of the game. Barrett. Bernstein flips it up to the top. Defensive 3 seconds. You heard it here as it was Bella Goodwin that had possession, and she's going to have a prime spot here on the free position.
So 3 seconds, you have to be within a stick's length. You can't just be hanging out in the 8-meter.
19 free position goals leads the team this season for Bella Goodwin. Whistle.
She went early. Florida went early.
The 19 free position goals for Goodwin this year is 15th in the nation. It was a false start. And now she shoots, and the save is made by Fennell. And look at this outlet on the clear.
A bad shot is the team's first pass in transition, and you see that right here.
Monaco. Hamilton got a step. Shoots and scores! Clark Hamilton. 6-1 Florida.
So Duke, Mike, they get a gift. False start on the defense for Florida. Goodwin goes back on the 8-meter. Not a great shot. So Fennell is that first pass in transition. She's so aware. Kudos to the midfield that gets out in transition, and then they run. And then Clark Hamilton gets it off a not so great pass, but she makes the most of it. So quick and crafty. She shoots around Everson. That's a beautiful shot placement. And she doesn't change her hand. She keeps it in her left hand. She just weaves in and out of the Duke defense. They had all the momentum there.
What a great play by Hamilton. Her dad, Kevin, is sitting right below us here in the press box, standing up and cheering as his daughter has 2 goals here in this game, her 13th multi-goal game.
She's also a freshman, Mike.
Yeah.
I guess now sophomore that school's done, but
Right.
still playing in her first NCAA tournament game. It's been fun to watch her progression from the beginning of the season to now. Again, we said it's so confident, but also now productive on the stat sheet.
You relate to this as you were on the primetime football game this past season. That was like a pick six.
Yes.
Okay, because they could have scored it. Instead, the transition the other way, and they got a goal. And by the way, Duke's on the extra player right now. They're on
Correct.
the power play. Now that's a killer. There's still 30 seconds left on it. But to not score and then give up a goal.
Well, it's deflating.
Yeah.
So green card on Florida.
Yeah, that goes against Jenny Markey. So now there's 2 players up for 35 seconds. Yeah, you have
It's not negotiable. You have to score here.
2 players up for 35 seconds. It was offsides the call, so Duke's got it here. Then they'll have another player advantage for 25 more seconds if they don't score here in the first 35. Goodwin finds Barrett, down to Shearer. Back up Goodwin.
Wait, just to put it in perspective, it's 7v5 right now. Florida is making it seem like they also have 7 players against Duke 7.
It's a great point. It doesn't look like it's 7-on-5, does it? And the first one's going to expire in a moment here as that shot got deflected, and now it's 7-on-6 for the next 20 seconds here. Duke still with the advantage. Crossfield, Barrett, Shearer. Looking for Hemingford, she's got it, she shoots it, a save by Fennell. And the rebound is scooped up by the Gators. What a job, Celeste Forte comes up with it. Number 20 in white for Florida, just taking on all comers as she brings it over.
That's an amazing defensive stance. I would say that's a momentum change, but it feels like Florida has had the momentum through this entire game. Duke now gets the possession after a Florida turnover.
Just got to take it away by Barrett, and the Blue Devils are back with it. Sydney Smith flips it over now for Duke's Mabel Overbeck.
I mean, Florida's killed 2 yellow card penalties. That's extremely impressive, especially facing a Duke offense who, in the last 2 games, has offensively been on fire against James Madison and Virginia in their first and second round wins in the NCAA tournament.
Very impressive. They killed off the penalties and, in fact, scored a goal during one of them as well. So that's the other thing. Here's Pronti, who works her way in. That's not there. Scooped up and rebounded by the Blue Devils. They still have it. Goes behind the net for Shearer. Because it was Bernstein that picked it back up.
They put up 17 goals against their win in Virginia. 6 in the first quarter. This is just a different team than we saw last week.
Lost it behind the net. Florida possession here as we're halfway through the second quarter. Duke is 0 for 7 shooting here in the second quarter.
That's a really hard way to win a ball game.
They've had opportunities. They've had player advantages. Florida's only got 3 shots in the second quarter, and they've scored a goal.
Duke defense not necessarily the problem here going into halftime. Kirsten Kimmel needs to address, which I'm sure she will, the lack of offensive movement. Now this is a Florida defense that plays man. Duke's primarily used to seeing a zone, but you still got to adjust.
Here's Hamilton. They work it in front here, and a shot to score. This is Josie Hahn.
Josie Hahn, such a special part of this team out of St. Paul's School for Girls in Maryland. Assisted goals. Florida is so unselfish. Beautiful job finding the seam. Duke's got to find an answer for Florida. Florida up 7-1.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
Make the most of Memorial Day at the Home Depot.
So what are you working on?
We're adding some color.
Bringing summer inside.
All in one coat.
14 days of Memorial Day savings are happening now at the Home Depot.
Every dream for your future starts with a plan. But at Corebridge Financial, we know it takes more. It takes action, like connecting with a financial professional to help guide you. Choosing retirement solutions so you can live the life you've worked for. And life insurance to protect the ones you love. Great things happen when you put your plans into action. Corebridge Financial. Action is everything.
That's right, zoom in. Rachel, thanks very much. We'll catch you back in 6 minutes and 30 seconds of game time here in the second quarter as Florida does lead at 7-1. Dana, what have you seen?
I mean, I think Rachel said it perfectly to Checo in studio. Duke has to ramp up their intensity.
Yeah.
They're playing flat on the offensive end. You can't have the load of the responsibility be on your defense when you're facing a Florida team that has so many offensive weapons. Duke hasn't had a goal since 4:35 in the first quarter. You have to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. You have to move the ball. You have to move adjacent. There's just a lot of standing and watching. I mean, they had so many opportunities on the power play. At one point, it was 7v5.
Right.
And they didn't score. That's unacceptable if you want to win a ball game.
Well, and your point was well taken, is it didn't look like it was 7-on-5, right?
Florida played.
You got to spread them out.
And their power play defense, they spread out defensively.
Yeah, it felt like Duke was too packed in when they were working on that 7-on-5 for the moment. They just didn't have any opportunities. Jordan Basso, by the way, for Florida, number 6, 2 assists today. She just had the latest one. She had 4 goals against Stanford. She had 1 goal and 4 assists against Mercer. And she's the one that fed Josie Hahn there on the latest goal. Now Florida's got it back here with a 7-1 lead and 6 minutes to go before the half.
And what's interesting about that is Basso came in as such a great, almost pure goal scorer, and now she's become such a primary feeder at the beginning of the year. She has the ability to diversify. She came from D3 at Gettysburg. Total gold in the transfer portal. Reggie Thorpe, the assistant head coach for Florida, found her. She didn't have any Division I offer. She was nervous. I love that part. She was nervous about playing Division I, didn't think she could do it, and she has totally been a bright spot for this Florida team.
Really has. Number 6 in white, talking about Jordan Basso. Shitty space out here now, so Florida with 5:34 to go. Free position, leading 7-1. It's Hamilton. Gives it back out. And the shot that time from Gabby Corey. Not there. Fighting for it, Franny Hahn. Out. Let's see, hold on. Officials conferring. Hahn was back there, so was Carrie Neese for Duke.
So it's going to stay with Florida. Great pursuit, though, by 41 in blue, Carrie Neese.
Davies for Hamilton. Russell against Neese. Fernie Hahn had it. A little too high there for Hamilton, but recovered by Sam Hughes for Florida, and then an errant pass. Duke's got it. It's Nice.
Nice is traditionally that two-way midi for Duke, but towards the later part of the season, Kirsten Kimmel has moved her down to the defense. She's their best defensive midi, so she's primarily concerned with that matchup. She's been on Franny Hahn down there. They've got to keep her fresh, not just for the defensive end, but also for the draw circle as their draw specialist.
Look away! Look away!
Bernstein here for Duke. McDonald.
Go left! Go left! Go left! Look away!
Shearer.
Left! Go left! Go right! Demo! Last year!
Bella Goodwin in front of the net right now, number 9 for Duke. They're rotating players through. Shearer. Up at the top is Callie Ham. Now it goes behind the cage. And a whistle against Florida here.
That ball movement, you see how quick it was working around? That's what they need. That's what they needed in the first quarter. That's what they have to continue to keep doing. That's a foul on Florida.
And so Lena Doreen here for Duke. Doreen, shooting and scoring. Blue Devils needed that.
And that goal by Doreen ends a near 16-minute drought for Duke offensively. Now, that was off an 8-meter. Great score by Doreen, but it started because of the quick ball movement by Duke that led to a Florida foul. Duke got on the 8-meter, and they had to score that. They're non-negotiable there.
That was the second goal, as you said, first since 4:35 left in the first quarter. 7-2, Florida leads it. WNBA begins their 29th season tomorrow night. We'll have a pair of games for you on ABC. Actually, it's ABC, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Defending champion Liberty hosting the Aces at 1 Eastern, and then Caitlin Clark and the Fever, Angel Reese, and the Sky. Coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 12:30. Gators ball with a 5-goal lead, under 3.5 to play. First half. Previous possession ended on a turnover. I want to make this note, just the third turnover of the game, Dana, and this is a Florida team that is first in the nation with fewest turnovers per contest, 10.14. So they take care of the ball and they put up a ton of numbers.
That's certainly a recipe for success.
Go, Harry!
Behind the net for Franny Hahn. Well, you heard it, illegal use of the stick there. And it's going to be Jenny Markey that's going to have the free position for Florida. Markey got it through. Everson got a piece of it, but it still went in the net, and it's now 8-2 Gators.
Jenny Markey, the Syracuse transfer, found a new home in Gainesville. 20th goal this season. Just a quick step off the 8-meter, right past Everson. Great job controlling the release point as Duke defensively crashed in on that 8-meter.
6 different goal scorer today. They beat Mercer. They escaped with a double overtime win against Stanford. And now here against Duke for the right to move on to semifinals next weekend. And Amanda O'Leary's got to like what she's seen so far.
And that was such an impressive game by Stanford. I want to commend Danielle Spencer, the head coach for Stanford. They enter the ACC this year. They go 7-2 in conference play. And I think a lot of people were surprised, but she's done an excellent job out on the West Coast. Former Northwestern Wildcat, played for Kelly Amonte Hiller, the head coach now at Northwestern. I mean, she was part of that dynasty run.
Look, it's not easy, right? A lot of new teams, a lot of new stuff, travel. I mean, it's...
But it's Stanford.
Yeah.
So her ability to recruit, she's an excellent recruiter. They will be back next year. Really impressed with their run in the ACC. I want to commend that team.
4 goals for Florida today off 7 draw control wins. Very impressive here. They lead it by 6. Moving the ball nicely here, too, on the offensive end. It's just moving a lot quicker, right?
The ball's not sticking.
Yeah. So this is their 8th draw control win. So if they score here, it'll be 5 for 8.
Low, Sadie, low. Casey, right to her. Turbo.
Hamilton passes. The bouncer that time from Davies. Another whistle here.
It's going to be a cross check.
Davies with a game winner against Stanford, number 5.
Here we go, Ken.
Here we go.
Yellow card issue. Duke, it's red.
Yellow card on Mabel Overbeck for Duke. 2 minutes. First Duke card of the game here. Davies. Oh, got a check from behind.
Great tip by Duke defensively. Madison Beal got a piece of that.
Now we'll see how Florida operates.
But see how spread out they are? Unlike when Duke was warming up. They're spread out. They're making Duke have to run, check, recover.
Hahn behind the net now, Monaco. And it's not there, and Duke is going to stay with Florida here.
Good recovery by Basso. In women's lacrosse and men's lacrosse, if you shoot and it's a shot, first to the ball out of bounds will get possession, maintain possession.
Good play by 6 in white for Florida. She's got it now, goes behind the net here for Franny Hahn. Now in front, the shot off the post. It was that time by Gabby Green for Florida. Gators still have it. Davies, Monaco, look out. That's over the top of the net. Basso again will put it back in. 44 seconds and ticking. 30 seconds left on the power play here for Florida.
So foul below goal line extended.
3 shots in this possession for Florida. Basso for Monaco. And now Hahn, and she scores. Franny Hahn with 21.8 left. The player advantage goal scored by the Gators is 9-2.
That's a pretty goal, Mike, in women's lacrosse. The ball moved, skip pass, behind goal line extended. Just the awareness offensively. Beautiful dish inside, slips inside, Franny Hahn. Number 16 in a Florida uniform. Good job evading Kennedy Everson, shooting around her. Big 12 freshman of the year. 58 assists entering today, which is a single season program record, but she also gets involved on the scoring front as well, which really makes this Florida team so tough to stop.
And Dana, it's a second goal in the last 3 minutes too as well here to kind of close out this half. They got 21.8 seconds left. And Florida has been on a tear. Duke here with 12 seconds left before the end of the half. Barrett. Woodworth's got it. Trying to go back to Barrett. Clock is winding down. Not going to happen. That's the end of the half.
Such an impressive performance by Florida. Offensively, sure, as advertised, but defensively to hold Duke just to 2 goals. A team in their last time out who put up 17 against Virginia.
9 goals on 19 shots for Florida. Duke, just 2 goals on 14 shots in this first half. 9-2 lead. Coach Amanda O'Leary is with us here now. Coach, what a great job by your squad. I mean, to overcome some cards and you scored on one of them. What has this team done here in the first half to have this 7-goal lead?
Yeah, I mean, I think they came out of the locker room ready to go. Proud of them for their effort. I thought our defense has dug in on quite a few occasions. You know, we were playing 7v5 and, you know, they came up with a big stop there. So really impressed with our team. But, you know, this is a great Duke team and they are so well coached and we know they're going to go into the locker room and have some answers. So no doubt it'll be a totally different game in the second half.
Offensively, you get a lot of attention and rightfully so, but what's critical about holding Duke offensively just to 2 goals when they put up 17 against Virginia in that second round?
Yeah, I mean, I just have to, you know, compliment our defense, and they're digging in. You know, we're winning some of the 1v1 matchups. We're losing a couple, but, you know, for the most part, we're playing really solid team defense. And, you know, when you give up 1 goal as a 8-meter, and, you know, I think that's pretty special. So I'm proud of the group, but again, this Duke is a team that doesn't go away. They're going to come back, and, you know, again, Kirsten's a phenomenal coach, and Nick, and, you know, I just feel like they're going to go in and make some adjustments, and we're going to need to kind of counteract their adjustments, and it's going to be a good chess match for the second half.
Coach, thanks so much. All the best in the second half.
Thank you.
Amanda O'Leary in Florida. They lead it 9-2. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Zubin Mehenti, Rachel DiCecco in the studio on the other side of this break.
I saved so much ordering with Dash Pass by DoorDash, I even got myself some extra chips and guac.
I saved even more with Dash Pass.
Oh.
I got new shades. And when we order with DoorDash, everyone wins.
Dash Pass by DoorDash, your door to more savings.
Memorial Day savings start now at the Home Depot. So whether you're working on a getaway just for you or a space to celebrate with friends, find everything to make it your place with savings from the Home Depot.
Every dream for your future starts with a plan. But at Corbridge Financial, we know it takes more. It takes action, like connecting with a financial professional to help guide you. Choosing retirement solutions so you can live the life you've worked for. And life insurance to protect the ones you love. Great things happen when you put your plans into action. Corbridge Financial. Action is everything.
Le mal élixir absolu. The New Intense Fragrance by Jean-Paul Gaultier.
de Chanel.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
An update is required.
Financial system updating.
System updated.
We will dance to get.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
Down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
Don't worry,
You're not alone.
we can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Today, I choose us how to screen us for colon cancer. Here, on my land, not theirs. Give me Cologuard or give
Excuse me? We can do that for you.
What, no battle?
Nope. Just a prescription.
Victory!
Cologuard is an effective and non-invasive colon cancer screening test. False positive and negative results may occur. Those at high risk should use colonoscopy. Skip the drama. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online. Bleu de Chanel.
So what are you working on?
Something for the Garcias. Right there's great.
Love you, honey.
Thanks, Mom.
We've got 24 hours to get all of this under control.
Then you're gonna need these today.
Oh, we can deliver that.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow. Get delivery at the speed you need only at the Home Depot.
Hey, Perk, guess what?
Yo.
I saved so much ordering with Dash Pass by DoorDash, I even got you some chips and guac, bro.
Thanks, Malika.
I got you.
I saved with Dash Pass too. I got you a burrito.
For me? My guy. And I ordered a speaker for my pre-show dance with Steve.
I saved on new shades.
Oh.
And when we save money with Dash Pass,
Man. Everyone wins.
Dash Pass by DoorDash, your door to more savings.
That thirst.
It takes courage to embrace your extraordinary. Burberry Hero. The new Parfum Intense.
So what are you working on?
Something for the Garcias. Right there's great.
Love you, honey.
Thanks, Mom.
We've got 24 hours to get all of this under control.
Then you're gonna need these today.
Oh, we can deliver that.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow. Get delivery at the speed you need only at the Home Depot.
Krista, it's time to fess up.
About?
You're over 45 and still haven't screened for colon cancer.
But I feel great. I get like 20,000 steps a day in heels.
Okay, but if you're 45 plus, you should screen even if you feel healthy. So ask for Cologuard. It's a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive.
No prep, and you use it at home.
False positive and negative results may occur. Those at high risk should use colonoscopy.
Skip the drama. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online.
AE drink spray? AE drink spray.
You want to hoop like Anthony Edwards? Practice. You want a refreshing drink? Obey your thirst. And I tried to tell him, man.
Oh, I know. Sprite, obey your thirst.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance to get.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
Being myself is the boldest thing I can do. My own self.
Back in the quarterfinals in Gainesville, Florida, the Gators off to the fast start, 9-2 as we get set for the start of the second half. Mike Corey and Dana Boyle here with you. What a great job here by Florida early and often. They scored the first three, giving up just 2 goals in that first half. What does Duke got to do to try to get back in this thing?
Well, to your point, Florida, as advertised, Duke, 2 goals. That's unacceptable if you want to win in the postseason in the NCAA tournament. They have to have the ball. They're not getting possession, and they're making their defense play a ton of D.
They had a couple of opportunities, too, as well, with some extra players. They were 7-5 at one point, failed to score on that. Then they actually gave up a shorthanded goal, if you will, to Florida, too. Here are some of the first half stats as well.
In the draw control, Florida's edging them, but when Duke does get possession off the draw, it's empty. So they get it down to their offensive end and they turn the ball over. Or Florida makes an incredible defensive stop. They just haven't had any momentum. And just when you think it's about to shift, Florida either scores a goal or gets a huge possession.
And Florida wins the opening draw of this second half. This is game 2 of our quadruple header in the quarterfinals here today on ESPNU. Northwestern has already punched their ticket to the semifinals next weekend in Foxborough, Mass at Gillette Stadium with a 17-12 win over Penn today. We've got 2 more games coming up after us as well, Dana.
Yeah, Boston College will face Yale. Yale looking for its first ever NCAA semifinal appearance. And then later at night, UNC and Princeton. UNC, the lone undefeated team in the nation.
Gators possession here. Monaco gets free, shot no, rebound, and into the stick of the goalkeeper, Kennedy Everson. Talked a lot this season about how good the UNC and BC teams are, but Northwestern, they're going to be right there again, challenging next weekend. And what about if this holds? I mean, there's a lot of lacrosse here left, but Florida, what have you seen from this Florida team right now? Do they have a chance if they can knock off Duke today?
Through 2 quarters, my answer would be they're going to championship weekend. But I'm just really impressed what we saw in 2024 with this team that makes it to the national semifinals with players like Danielle Pavanelli and Maggie Hall. They graduate, and you think, okay, Florida, they're in a rebuild year. Well, not necessarily. They just reloaded because Amanda O'Leary, the head coach for Florida, has done such an incredible job of developing some of those scout team players. They bring in 3 transfers, one being Jordan Basso, who makes an immediate impact, fits in seamlessly with the team. Gianna Monaco.
Speaking of which, save Everson. Well, that's big for Duke here to start this second half.
That's a confidence boost. Now, what will they do with this stop defensively? That's my question for Duke. They haven't been able to do anything with the defensive stance that they make.
Trainer throws it over here for Pronti. 2 saves already in the third quarter for Everson as we go to UView.
That's a good save, stepping into the shot by Monaco.
She had just 2 saves in the entire first half. And that's going against Duke.
They're going to call that an offensive foul on Goodwin. So she pushed into the Florida defender to get space to receive the ball back. But it's the extension of the arms. You can't do that. I understand making space like when you V-cut in basketball, but you can't physically push your stick in to another player.
93 degrees here today in Gainesville, University of Florida. Donald R. Disney Stadium. Gators trying to advance to the semifinals. We're in a different environment here in the press box out there, but
Not gonna lie, the air conditioning's pretty nice. I went on the field pre-game. There is a little bit of a breeze down there, but it's hot.
here's Hamilton. A little bit too high in the pass, trying to find Davies, but it's going to be recovered here by Monaco. Back to Monaco. Spinning. Got hit. This is going to be a card here as well. Yep. And going off is going to be Reese Woodward
So she'll
for
sit
Duke.
for 2 minutes. It is releasable on a Florida score.
And in there for the goal is Monaco.
Great adjustment by Monaco. We saw Everson make that last save. Monaco there, yes, falling down, but she did change her level of the stick, which makes the goalie work. We saw Everson down on her knees. I've been so impressed with Monaco this season. She's one of those returners for Florida. Didn't get a ton of time last year as that fourth attacker, but she's diversified the way in which she scored, and she's the lead dog on attack for Florida this year.
And what a great job, too, as well, to stay out of the crease there. And you talked about it from before. They lost all this scoring production from last season.
76%. Nobody would have thought, including myself, and Mandy O'Leary said, pleasantly surprised that they're in the situation that they're in. That's Monaco's 11th goal in this NCAA tournament. But you lose players like Maggie Hall and Danielle Pavanelli. Like, they're in the record books for Florida. They're just not key players that you lost. Like, they're in the history of Florida women's lacrosse. So when you graduate that type of talent, there is an adjustment period that teams go through.
Well, they seem to adjust pretty well
Just
here.
fine.
Just fine.
And I think that's an important conversation to have, like, the teams who can reload in a sense, like their head coaches are developing the talent. Like Jenny Levy is one of the best at it. She's got scout team players that we've never heard of. We see them for the first time when they're juniors, and it's like they haven't missed a beat. That's because they're getting developed.
Basso looked like she got hit there in the head. Push is going to be the call. Free position coming up here. 10-2 Gators. It's Basso. She's got a couple of assists today. See if she takes it in.
Here you go, Carrie. Who's low? Yeah, Carrie, be ready. Carrie, watch this. Good done.
Basso. Nope. Good defensive play by the Blue Devils there, but they have the backup, and it's still Florida possession. It's up to Green. Gabby Green. For Gabby Court. Basso again. 20 seconds to shoot. Hahn behind the net. Pass knocked down, but still retained here by the Gators. Now a push is going to be called on Nice. It's going to be Monaco. And Florida on the restart with 9:45 to go in this third quarter, 15 to shoot.
Sick across the body foul on Duke.
Hahn feeds it in front. Her sister, she shoots and scores. Josie Hahn from Franny Hahn. How about that connection? 11-2.
You have to wonder, Mike, if they practice that in the backyard. It's the ball movement for Florida that's been the difference maker. The ball doesn't stick in anybody's stick for too long. It's those 3-second touches. It forces Duke defensively to really have to recover, and they haven't done a good job of it. Off the quick dish, off a 1v1, heads are always up. Assisted goals have been so impressive and such a part of this fabric for Florida offensively. That last goal being scored sister to sister. How do you recover defensively if you're Duke? You can't, because the ball's moving so fast. You know, when you see that ponytail, they feed the ball. They thread the needle, and there's actually been a goalie change for Duke. So Chloe Provenzano will go in cage. Kennedy Everson is now out.
Got to give the Hans credit there. Josie Hahn in her 85th career game today, top 3 in Florida history. She's the senior. Franny Hahn's the redshirt freshman. Their father, Matt Hahn, graduated in '99 from Maryland, was the all-time goal scorer at the time on the team there. Their mom, Helen Marie, also was at Maryland. And when she was there playing, Mandy O'Leary for Florida, the current head coach, was an assistant there. And then if we'll go a little bit deeper in the Hahn family, their younger brother, Bogue, he's going to be at Syracuse next year. He's a 5-star player.
Gary Gate got a good one, the head coach for Syracuse. Franny and Josie Hahn's mom actually played for Mandy, and Kirsten Kimmel played at Maryland when Mandy O'Leary, the head coach for Florida, was on staff. So we always say lacrosse is like a family, and that just really ties the bow there.
Got to thank Sean Salisbury, doing an awesome job with us here today on stats. He's a broadcaster with Florida here locally. He's done a lot of games and great information and knowledge all throughout the pregame and throughout the game. So thank you, my friend. We appreciate it. Great stuff today. 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. 11-2 is the score. Florida leading. Hamilton got hit. That's a good play there. That time by Riley Traynor for Duke. Got a knockdown of her stick, and Duke comes up with a cross turnover here as they race the other way halfway through the third. Duke's last goal came at 3:41 in the second quarter. Their first goal was at 4:35 in the first quarter. Shearer flips it here for Sadie Stafford, and she works her way in. The shot is saved there by Fennell. Didn't quite know where it was at first, but she picks it up.
I mean, Mike, you mentioned it, but to put it in perspective, Duke's last time out against Virginia in the second round of the NCAA tournament, they put up 6 in the first quarter, then they put up 2 in the second quarter, 5 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. So this is uncharacteristic of the Duke team that we've seen in the postseason.
It's a good point there, and they're just doing well in all facets right now, this Florida Gators team. Fennell, by the way, who has 9 saves in this game, had 38 saves last year in the NCAA tournament. That was good for 50%. That's an incredible percent.
Right where you want to be as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
50%. Anything higher than that is certainly a luxury.
Well, when your offense can put up the kind of numbers that they're putting up, I mean, that's all you're looking for. Look at this. In front here, Basso almost marquee with the goal there.
And I think back to your point, like, Florida defensively is giving Fennell the shots that she wants to see. Like, they are not point blank, so that's what you're supposed to do, playing in front of your goalkeeper. You're supposed to support her. You can't leave her out on an island. In some ways, like Duke has done to Kennedy Everson until we saw Chloe Provenzano, who's in the cage now for Duke, go in.
Yeah, 10th game of the season for Provenzano. 24 goals against, 21 saves coming into this contest, 47% save percentage to her credit. Tough pass there for the Gators. They're trying to get it to Franny Hahn. Well, and how about the defense for Florida? I mean, a ton of credit to the Florida defense right now. Like holding this Duke team to 2 goals with just about 5 minutes to go here in the third.
And oftentimes, it doesn't matter who you're playing, to hold a team to that few of goals now in women's lacrosse, we have a shot clock. When I played, we didn't, is extremely impressive.
Coach O'Leary for Florida told us this week she's just been so happy with how hard the team has worked, especially at this time of the year as well, too. And it felt like there was only one day of practice that wasn't good. And, you know, when you're dealing with finals and it's May and there's a lot going on here, you got to be at your best at this time of the year, but it's not easy, and they've done a really good job of it.
Yeah, you have to find a new edge. It is a long season. I mean, these women have been practicing since January. They come back early for winter break. But this is the best time of the year. You just have lacrosse to focus on. Can you find that new edge? Can you play inspired? And really both teams have been doing that. We just aren't seeing the Duke team that showed up last weekend.
Callie Hem, and she unleashes and scores for the first time today. She had 7 goals last game, gets her first one of this game, and it's 11-3. Finally, Duke gets something on their 4th possession of this third quarter. Previously, 2 turnovers and then just 1 shot.
Callie Hem, the grad transfer from Harvard. If Duke's going to be successful in this game, we've got to see more offensive production from Callie Hem, number 40. Duke's got 3 on the board.
Isn't it great that we save with Dash Pass by DoorDash?
Love it. It helped me save on ramen for the whole crew.
What are we going to do with all these bowls?
We got that covered.
Dash Pass by DoorDash, your door to more savings.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here. And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
Don't worry,
You're not alone.
we can do this together.
So what are you working on?
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance to get.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
You'll be there, Dana, part of our championship coverage as the NCAA Lacrosse Championship continues with the semifinals next weekend in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
As a longtime New Englander, born and raised,
Yep.
I will say Foxborough, one of the best places, Patriot Place. But this is exciting. I mean, we have 3 more games really to watch. Who's going to go to the national semifinals? It seems like at this point in the game, it's Florida. BC Yale is next up in our nightcap. UNC and Princeton.
And I know you seemed a little bit concerned here with the 10-day forecast. So you look at Boston, it's about half the temperature of what we have here today of 93, 94 degrees. But this is the good thing. When you see that now, you know it's going to change. So I'm okay with you guys next week.
I'm going to roll with that.
You want to see like a potential lower temperature and rain now because it always changes.
As long as there's no delays like we had
Right.
last year. in the semifinals. Florida had 2 lightning weather delays facing Northwestern.
All together.
And 2 years ago
yes,
as well.
Right. But how about having everyone there?
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome for the sport. I would love for that to be the case every year.
Yep. But, you know, we were just talking about it earlier as Duke here tries to make something happen with Bella Goodwin, works it back up top for Barrett. How awesome was championship weekend for the women's side at Homewood Field a few years back?
It was amazing. I mean, there was no more tickets. It was a sellout. But I think this year in Foxborough, you have the opportunity, whether you're a men's or women's lacrosse fan or you're just a fan of the sport, you can watch lacrosse Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Correct. Ball knocked out of the stick of Goodwin. Call the foul on Florida here. So Goodwin, Bella Goodwin, we said it earlier about her free position opportunities. Well, now it's going to be outside of it. She has scored 19 times in the free position though this season, 15th in the country. Shearer behind the net for Pronti. Barrett. Whistle again.
That's going to be a foul on Florida.
7 seconds on the shot clock here. 2:26 to go in the third. Bouncer goes through for Barrett. Caitlin Barrett for the Blue Devils.
What's important about that goal, Mike, is that's Duke's first goal off a draw control today. They've had 7 total, so that's what happens when you get possession. You get it down into your offensive end. Yes, that was an 8-meter. Great job by Barrett, who hasn't had the best shooting percentage this season. Great bounce shot. Oftentimes that's tough for a goalie to track. This is natural grass. It's beautiful. It does look like turf from the vantage point we have, but it can take an obscure bounce. And it's really hard for goalies to see that.
Yeah, you called it the draw position, draw control numbers here. I mean, it's 10-7, so it's not out of whack, you know, but it's what you do with it, like you just said. So
it gives you an opportunity to settle into an offensive groove. Find a rhythm. When you get it off the draw, you maintain possession clean, and you transition it into your offensive end when it's a 7v7 game.
Some other numbers that are just non-factors of determining that it's an 11-4 game right now is that there's just 5 turnovers for Florida, 4 for Duke. Each team has been perfect on the clears today. 10 for 10 for Duke, 12 for 12 for Florida, so not much going on there. Each team's had a few free position opportunities as well. I mean,
and credit to Duke, because part of the way through this third quarter when the score was 2-11, you thought maybe Florida could run away with it. If a 10-goal deficit happens in women's lacrosse, it's running clock.
Right.
So credit to Duke for getting a few points on the board to really make that more difficult for Florida to run away with the game.
Chloe Hunter is in now 34 here for Duke and blue. It goes over to Ava Pronti. This could be big if they grab another one here. Right now they've scored the last 2 in a row, as you said, after Florida scored 2 in a row to begin the third quarter. That's a foul. Maddie McDonald is the one working it in there for the Blue Devils. So here we go.
Come on, Mac.
2 for 3 on the free positions today for Duke.
Gabby, come low.
It was 9-2 at half. Still a 7-goal game here as Duke tries to close this gap. Minute 10 left in the third. Maddie McDonald. Gonna reset the clock to 1:17. McDonald scores it. Little momentum here, Dana. 3 in a row by the Blue Devils.
And Maddie McDonald, a freshman. 9th goal this season. First goal since April 5th. So they're getting production from some non-traditional players that we're really not used to seeing make the difference.
You know how this works in this game. 3 goals in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. It can happen fast.
The game is certainly not over. It felt like it was at one point when it was a 9-goal differential, but credit again to Duke for just finding a way, winning the ball off the draw cleanly, getting into their offensive end, and just absorbing some of that pressure from the Florida man-to-man defense.
Andy O'Leary told us in our halftime interview they weren't going to go away. And
they made that adjustment,
like
she
said.
said.
Wasn't just coach speak. I mean, she knew what was coming potentially by this Blue Devils team. Has played very well this season, and they're playing at their best level right now. They just haven't shown it early in this game, and now they're going to get the ball. And here's the deal. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the third. Duke is working on 3 in a row right now. And a green card on Riley Zuzai.
You could see the whole Duke bench erupted. That right there is a momentum shift. If they can score off this power play, this could really change the direction of this game.
45 seconds on the power play here. Let's see if they can spread them out a little bit and try to create some space and opportunities to put one through. Close this gap. 6-goal game right now. Here is Barrett. Shearer. Bernstein in the middle. Hem got hit hard. Callie Hem now, number 40 for Duke. A chance for them to go 4 in a row and close this down to a 5-goal game. This is their top goal scorer on the team. 66 goals, 14th in the country. Hem. No. And it's backed up there by Ava Biancardi.
Good awareness off the shot by Duke to be there for that rebound. First to the ball off a shot, maintains possession.
10 seconds still on the power play. Goodwin. Woodworth. Bernstein. 3 seconds to go before it's even strength. Shearer. Swings it back. Florida's back to full strength. Goodwin. Into the quarter here. 3 seconds to go. They got to put something on net. And they don't recognize it, and they don't do it. And another good job by Florida to ward off that possession. And it's going to be a 6-goal lead for them heading into the fourth.
But that's discouraging if you're Duke. I think they were more concerned with the shot clock versus the game clock. You got to have that game awareness. Florida up 11-5 as we enter the fourth quarter.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance together.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
When you reach into yourself, you find yourself. Bleu de Chanel.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
11-5, Florida over Duke as we get set for the fourth quarter of action in the NCAA Women's Lacrosse quarterfinals back in Gainesville. Mike Corey and Dana Boyle. Good job, though, by Duke here to close out that third, Dana. They scored 3 in a row.
Yeah, after having just a single goal in the first and second quarter, facing a Florida team that just offensively is on fire. You know, Duke started shooting 2 for 16. Since then, 3 for 4. So much better opportunity in front of the cage and really shooting around Fennell. They just really struggled in that first half.
If Duke comes back and wins, they go to the semifinals for the 8th time in their history. The first time since 2015. For Florida, trying to go back-to-back would be their 3rd appearance in the semifinals. Winner moves on next weekend to Foxborough, Massachusetts. Northwestern is already going to be there. 17-12 win over Penn today. In our first quarterfinal round matchup, we got BC and Yale coming up at 5, and UNC and Princeton at 7:30. Callie Bishop now at the draw here for Florida, and it's going to be won, though, by Duke. And the Blue Devils start the 4th with it. Ellie White was able to come up with it that time.
Just unfortunate as that third quarter concluded. Duke not aware of the game plan.
And Duke up and cheering. They're going to get a call here against Florida as they've won 5 straight draw controls, and now they're going to be on a player advantage. Green card on Forte for being offsides.
Oh, just barely.
Or Hamilton, excuse me.
Just barely, but good call by the officials.
Wow. Yeah, just touchdown in front there. That was Clark Hamilton who just went over the line, so out for 1 minute. Duke's had some opportunities here. They're having some chances right now. That's the 5th card of the day, but no power play goals scored so far for Duke today on these opportunities. Do they change that here? 0 for 4 on the player advantage right now, but this is their 5th opportunity. Let's see what happens.
5 cards for Florida, 2 of those yellow, so that green card doesn't affect the yellow card total. If you get 4, that penalty no longer is releasable.
They're working it around here. It's Woodworth for Barrett. Shearer. Hem in front, can't get it. Biancardi also there as well. That goes over to Shearer. She scores. Look at that. Duke, 4 in a row, and they've closed the gap now. It's 11-6.
Maddie Shearer signaling to the officials. She got hit in the head. Goggles flew off. Just such an individual effort. So crafty behind the cage. Beautiful cross-crease pass. Thread the needle for Duke. Something that they didn't have success with in the first half. It's because they weren't moving their feet and the ball wasn't moving. Just a sliver of space.
Trying to see whether that stick kind of got her, and now the officials are coming over to the monitor here. And so what was once an 11-2 lead for Florida is now down to 11-6. Reviewing to see if the foul here, I don't feel like that.
Her goggles are down by her nose.
Yeah, let's try this angle here. Oh, yeah, okay. She was very adamant about it. The minute she scored, she's up and saying, I got hit. Not really celebrating the goal, looking for more of the penalty there.
Yeah, it was on the swipe.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to see.
Sam Hughes would potentially be the guilty party there, 18 for Florida and White.
Got hit in the face.
So that's their first goal, though, today with the advantage out of 5 tries.
It was a beautiful score. Yeah, so they're going to escalate this. This is going to be a yellow card. So Sam Hughes, the defender.
So all of a sudden here, Florida's starting to hurt themselves now. A couple of penalties. They've given up 4 straight goals.
They're saying Maddie Shearer got hit in the head, so they escalated that with the official review to a yellow card.
I mean, let's think of this for a second. Florida has not had a settled offensive possession since 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I mean, the script has flipped from what we saw in the first half with Duke now to Florida.
I mean, had they not had a 9-goal advantage, I mean, we would be in a
I mean, at one point we were
situation.
saying, like, is the game over?
Right.
Duke's at a 9-goal deficit. Like, they dug themselves a hole. Yeah, so number 18, Sam Hughes, is going to spend some time in the penalty box.
There's still 24 seconds left on the first foul, the green card, and then there's now 2 minutes on this. So once again, this is the second opportunity Duke's had a 7-on-5 today. Well, now it's off, excuse me. Now that's off the board. It should not have been on there. So it's just the 7-on-6 here with a 2-minute yellow card that is on now from Hughes. They did have a 7-on-5 earlier today, which they did not score on. Now 7-on-6 here for a minute 45 seconds. Blue Devils for Barrett. Good win. This is big here. Shearer.
Beautiful skip pass.
And a shooting space.
And that's the ball movement. When you're facing a defense, if you skip the ball, great job by Duke recognizing, like, hey, I could take this shot, signaling to the officials, but I'm not going to. They call shooting space.
So Caitlin Barrett looking for a hat trick. Not there, and this is going to be Florida possession. That's just critical again, not having anyone behind them.
You've got numbers. You've got to have somebody behind the cage. Awareness of the shot. I mean, in no other sport does the ball go out of bounds and the first person closest to it gets possession. Like, that's a huge gift.
And Duke's on the power play too, but they don't have the ball. 13:09 to go in the fourth. Still a 5-goal lead for Florida.
I teach the art of fanology, a job I take seriously. As to the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Our game can make a fan out of anyone. And at Fandom U, we take it to a whole new level. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
An unprecedented transcontinental race begins on Nintendo Switch 2. Mario Kart World. Game rated E for everyone.
Being myself is the boldest thing I can do. My own self. My expressive self. Proud. Strong. Free. My emotional self. I walk in, they lose composure.
Myself, the Eau de Parfum and Le Parfum. The new spicy vanilla bourbon intensity. Yves Saint Laurent.
Duke trying to mount the comeback here, Dana.
And it's the 4-goal run. It starts with Callie Hem, the graduate student out of Harvard. And this is when the momentum shifted for Duke. Really quiet first half, just 2 goals in the first half. They've limited Florida on their offensive possessions. Last shot for Florida was 6:01 in the third quarter. The score was 11-2. Since then, it's been all Blue Devils, Mike.
So here's the thing, though. It's an extra player opportunity right now for Duke for another minute, but they don't have the ball here, so they're going to try to get this thing back and utilize that advantage. 1 minute before Florida's back at full strength. Forte gets it over here now for Monaco. Still a lot of time here, 12:40 to go in the game. Winner to the semifinals next weekend in Foxborough. These two teams have played in the quarterfinals once before, and Duke won 12-9 here at Florida. They're only ever meeting between these two. Florida waiting to get back to full strength. They'll have 11 seconds to work with on the shot clock after they get their player back on the field. Davies is going to go in. Well, now they're going to try to make a move here. We'll see. Corey gives it up. Now here comes Davies. She comes right back in, gets the pass. Gives it on up now for Markey. Back to Davies. 2 seconds to shoot. In front and almost. Gabby Corey put it on, and the save made by Provenzano.
Great clear by Provenzano. Up and out of her stick to spark the Duke transition, but unlucky. Well, they're going to give it back to Duke.
Green card is out. And Jordan Basso called for this one for Florida.
So the officials are saying foul in the middle of the field, which results in a green card. Check to the body. So Duke will retain possession. Really lucky.
7th card today for Florida.
And they only have 3 yellows, so 1 more yellow, if they get one, non-releasable. So they've got to be careful. They got to tighten it up.
2 cards on Duke today. On the power play, here's Woodworth. Bella Goodwin. Barrett. Shearer. Score the latest goal, number 3 for Duke. Shearer again. Behind the net, there's Hem. She got it. She shoots and scores. Callie Hem on the one-timer. 5 in a row by the Blue Devils.
Callie Hem sparked that 4-goal run, now 5-goal run for Duke when we thought Duke's out of this. They didn't get off the bus in the first half. They dug themselves in a hole, and then you just see the ball movement has changed. They've changed levels. There's a little bit more urgency, but controlled urgency on the offensive end for Duke. Beautiful job by Callie Hem. She finds the seam so well and just cuts into space. You can see Florida with the stick versus the body. You got to play Callie Hem with the body.
Carly Bernstein with the assist. 5 goals in the last 9 minutes for the Blue Devils. And coming up with a draw is Gabby Corey. Nice job there for Florida. First draw win since 11-18 in the 3rd quarter for the Florida Gators, and it's a 4-goal game. Markey. Hamilton. Markey cutting through. Back to Hamilton, looking in for Markey. She's got it, she shoots, and the save, Provenzano.
Great save by Provenzano. Oftentimes when you make a goalie change, we saw Kennedy Everson in the first half, oftentimes it can add new energy to the defense in front of you. Think about it, you got a cold goalie coming in, hasn't seen real game shots. And this defense for Duke, they've held UF scoreless for just about 15 minutes.
Yeah, almost a full quarter here. Here's Pronti. Bernstein telling everyone to clear out here, get some space. McDonald. Maddie McDonald. Back to Pronti.
Behind!
Got him in front of the cage yet again as Pronti spins back, looking. Catch, shoot, score! It's Bernstein! Duke is on a tear. They've scored 6 in a row.
Mike, this fourth quarter has belonged to Duke. 6 straight goals. Carly Bernstein, somebody who, when we talked to Kirsten Kimmel this week, said really struggled this season with her shooting percentage. I say she's doing okay this afternoon. Beautiful job moving the ball by Duke. Just awareness. Honestly, not a high percentage, not a high angle shot. Before she scored, I was about to say not the luck to cage, and then it goes in the back of the net, but this is just a player making it happen.
Ava Pronti gets the assist. 6 straight goals, Dana, by 6 different players for the Duke Blue Devils. They are right back in this game with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go. It's 11-8.
And this is the team that we saw face James Madison in the first round and Virginia in the second round, getting those wins, but they didn't get off the bus in the first half. They really dug themselves in a hole, and they turned it around here.
Well, they really have, and this is our second quarterfinal round matchup of 4 straight here today on ESPNU. Mike Corey, Dana Boyle, and it did. They looked dead in the water, really. It was 9-2, and all of a sudden 11-2, and they come storming back here with 6 straight. What about the defense that they're also showing too as well? They're scoring an offense, but they're playing good defense too.
I think they made a goalie change, and kudos to Kirsten Kimmel for making that switch. Kennedy Everson goes out. Chloe Provenzano's been the spark. The defense in front of Provenzano is playing inspired. They're having more controlled possessions on the offensive end as well. It's been really impressive.
Taking advantage too, and they've won the draws also. That's been big. And then you had Fennell, who was looking solid in goal for Florida early. But then the second half, she's given up 7 goals and just 1 save after the first half with 8 saves and only giving up the 2 goals. 2 more games to come. Yale, Boston College at 5 o'clock Eastern, Princeton and North Carolina at 7:30. Try to find out the other 2 that will advance to the semis.
The winner of this game will face the winner of Princeton, North Carolina. That's our nightcap at 7:30. Mark Dixon and Courtney Connor on that one. Jay Alter and the great Charlotte North on the Boston College Yale game coming up here after this one.
You said it. This is the Duke team that you've been seeing more towards the end of the season of what they've done. They've had 6 road wins this year, 6 conference wins. Those are both the most since 2022 for this group. It's going to be a foul against the Blue Devils, so Florida has it here. But the lead is only 3, and there's still almost 9 minutes remaining. Their last goal came at 9.5 remaining in the third quarter.
So foul below goal line extended. So Florida will get a restart on the dot behind cage.
Franny Hahn got it started. Over to Hamilton. Corey. Davies. Now Monaco. Back to Hahn. Davies with some space, gives it up. Gabby Corey, her pass, trying to get it to Monaco. Little bit too high, Duke possession.
It's one of those situations, Mike, that we just witnessed, those quick passes in tight. Like, it's almost like you're being too unselfish. Like, somebody has to shoot. You can't have those little passes so close into the cage with Duke defensively draped all over you.
You almost get the sense right now in Florida, they've built up such a big lead, and now they're just trying to kind of hold on, as opposed to being the aggressive team that got them that 9-goal lead.
It's flipped. We watched Duke do that in the first half, those small passes in the 8-meter, trying to force, playing really tight offensively. Look at how spread out they are. They're starting their offense at the 20, past that 12-meter arc. That's about where you want to start your offensive possession.
Much better job here as Pronti gets hit by Corey. Gabby Corey gets called to the foul here. Ava Pronti was She's done a really good job today. She works around a lot behind the net, the feeder. She's got 48 assists on the season coming in. First on the team and 15th in the country. Now she's going to try to potentially put one on, or does she pull it out? Here's Pronti on the 8-meter. Duke down by 3. 7:11 to go in the game. Does pass it. Bernstein. Chloe Hunter. Still 25 to shoot. Bernstein feeds in the middle. Callie Hebb, how did she get that? She shoots, and it's over the top of the net. Duke's there for the backup. Bella Goodwin, 14 seconds to shoot.
Really surprised that pass in the inside didn't get picked off, to your point, but the defense was so focused, their eyes were on Callie Hebb, they didn't even see the pass coming in.
6 seconds to shoot. Goodwin dumps it in front, and a shot is scored! Bernstein! This is crazy. 7 in a row by the Blue Devils with 6:28 left in the game.
Bernstein with the fancy finish. Goodwin starts with it about at the 25. That goal happened because Goodwin went hard to Cage. The defense respected her as a legitimate option to shoot on Cage, and then she's unselfish because the slide comes, dishes it to Bernstein. Beautiful, creative shot. You can see the Duke bench erupts. This is amazing, what Duke's managed to do.
Bernstein has scored the last 2 straight. And now Florida has changed their goalie. Georgia Hoy is in. She's played a lot this season. We've kind of 1-2 there with Fennell and Hoy. Both are right around the same numbers as well, too. Giving up an average of 9 a game and 48% save percentage for both of these 2 keepers. So now let's see if Georgia Hoy can kind of settle things in. But Duke wins the draw. 4 goals on 6 shots here in the 4th quarter.
Complete turnaround from the first half when they scored 2 goals all half.
Shearer for him. Back behind the net for Pronti. So much confidence now if you're Duke. Caitlin Barrett, 7 in a row. Barrett off the post. Recovered by the Blue Devils and Woodworth. Shot clock reset to 60.
You can hear the communication on the offense. They all settled down with the shot clock reset.
Bernstein again. Yeah, you can hear her say no, as he goes against the double team. Kicks it back out to recover it. Nice job here. Bernstein spins by the defender. Pronti. Florida trying to be a little bit more aggressive here, but Duke still has it. Barrett. Shearer looking to distribute for Goodwin. Remember the last time she did this right around this time here, 14 to shoot. Goodwin trying to create. Here comes the slot. Double team, you're right. 7 to shoot. Goodwin in some trouble. Goes down, it's recovered by Barrett. Shearer, 2 to shoot, and it's not going to happen. As a nice job defensively by Florida to converge there.
Yeah, Goodwin's got to get rid of it. She held the ball for way too long. She dodged the double, then she re-attacked, but she never moved planes of the field. She stayed on the same side.
Florida
Ball
brings
has
it over
to go in somebody else's stick in that type of scenario.
NBA playoffs roll on tonight. Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals. The Thunder and the Nuggets on ESPN. OKC is up 3 games to 2. The Countdown crew tips off our coverage at 7:30 Eastern. So now Florida with a 2-goal lead, 55 seconds on the shot clock. You could bring it down to under 3 minutes to go, but you don't want to put yourself in a position. It's only a 2-goal game here. They've had a 20-plus minute scoring drought. Davies up top here for Markey. Hamilton. Hamilton for Markey, shoots, save, Provenzano. Outletting quickly. Duke getting across midfield here. It's Overbeck, gives it up for Hunter. Hunter, that may be a charge.
Oh, that's gonna be a charge.
It is. Chloe Hunter that time for Duke. Dana.
The charge is a little bit different than in basketball, so you have to have defensive positioning in lacrosse, whereas basketball, if your feet are set and you take the charge.
It's a big call.
That's a big call.
It is. Florida can use up some time here. 2 timeouts left for the Blue Devils, 1 for Florida. They can wind it down close to 1:35. Anything for Duke defensively?
They've got to get a stop. I mean, that was such a huge opportunity in transition. While I don't necessarily agree with the call, they have to get a stop. They have to go get the ball.
Davies has it. Gabby Corey, 2 minutes to go. Corey dumps it in front. Monaco. Beats Hamilton. Whistle on Duke here. That's shooting space. What do they call here?
Madison Beal, number 6 for Duke. She lost her goggles in the middle of the 8-meter.
It's going to be Hamilton now in the free position. Clark Hamilton for Florida, 1:53 to go. 18 to shoot. Hamilton,
great
stick check from behind. She still has it though. And now it's a charge going the other way. They're going to call it on Florida and high. Or is it Basso that time?
Florida's got to be careful here in the ride.
We've had a charge in each direction. 1.5 to go. Timeout taken. Duke timeout with possession and 1:28 to go, down 2. Winner of this game gets the winner North Carolina and Princeton. That's tonight at 7:30 on ESPNU. Northwestern's already punched their ticket to the semifinals. And they got the winner of BC and Yale. And that's coming up right after us at about 16 minutes from now at the top of the hour at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yale looking for its first semifinal appearance. Erica Bamford and the Bulldogs, such an incredible run this season. Jay Alter and Charlotte North have that following our game. But this game, whew, it's like everybody had an energy drink on the sidelines.
Especially in the second half. NCAA Women's Lacrosse National Championship game is Sunday, May 25th. It's at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on ESPN from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. We talked to Coach Amanda O'Leary at halftime, and she had said Duke will not go away.
Very familiar with
this
Duke
is a team that doesn't go away. They're going to come back, and again, Kirsten's a phenomenal coach, and Nick, and I just feel like they're going to go in and make some adjustments.
It was 9-2 at half, Mike. We really were in a point in the game where we're like, okay, Florida's going to run away with this, and then Duke just goes on this tear offensively, similar to what we watched them do in the JMU game in round 1. Round 2, beating Virginia. They came out really hot. They just didn't get off the bus in the first half.
It's a Duke team right now that's on a 7-0 run, trying to get back to the semifinals for the 8th time in school history, the first since 2015 for Florida. They try to go back-to-back semifinal appearances, would be their 3rd all-time. But it's Duke possession right now with 1:28 to go. Down by 2. Each team still has 1 timeout remaining. And the change there is they go back to Provenzano. She's come in with 3 saves in this game, and they've been big ones for Duke. Here's Amanda Pacey. Brings it through traffic, comes over with it. To Shearer. Woodward. Bernstein behind the net, beats Carly Hebb. She shoots, and the save is made by Georgia Hoy, who came in relief of Elise Fennell. And that's a big one. 47 seconds left. Florida brings it over. Jenny Marquis got it.
And they can hold it here, Mike. 71 seconds on the shot clock.
Timeout is taken. How about the play by Hoy?
She came in cold, Mike. This is an incredible save. The save of the game. This sealed it for Florida. Comes in relief for Fennell. Hasn't really seen a lot of game shots.
Right.
In this game specifically. Getting warmed up on the sidelines. We watched her, and then she makes this monster save. That's incredible.
And Florida's going to have it with a 2-goal lead in just 34.7 seconds to go. They're going to check the time here. I want to thank our great crew doing an awesome job today. Our producer, Adam Coppinger, our director, James Andrews, with Rayma Prim, Alec Deford, Todd Ferrante, Damon Lewis, our audio with Lawrence Vexler and Ian Lath, Richard DeAlbert on video. Thanking Sean Salisbury again on official stats, David Stanford for our official stats, Sean Salisbury and Talent Stats with us here in the booth today. 11-9, 2-goal lead for Florida. And it looked a little dicey there for a while, but they made the plays they had to make toward the end. And will possibly survive this one here with 34.7 seconds to go. 2-goal lead. It's been that combination of Fennell and Hoy all season in the goal for Florida. And they're trying to get to their 20th win of the campaign, which would tie last year's 20 wins for the high in team history.
Incredible job by Florida. First half offensive explosion. Second half really quiet for Florida.
Yep.
I mean, Florida's had 3 stops in the last 5 minutes of action. So that's the goalie play. It's the defense. First half was the offense. Duke just didn't do enough to get by here. If Florida can maintain possession, this is something that you practice during the week. Shot clock's greater than the game clock. Maintaining possession. Duke, right here, you can see the double early.
Davies is going to start with it. Fourteen straight NCAA tournament appearances for this Florida team. 8th time in the quarterfinals. Trying to get to the semis for the 3rd time. School history. .38 seconds now is on the clock. Duke has still scored 7 in a row right now. Florida has been on a long drought, but they just got to run it out here as they look to head to Boston. 25 seconds remaining. Gabby Corey. 15 seconds left. Duke able to get it. Pacey with just 8 seconds remaining. Not going to be enough time. Valiant comeback, but it's going to fall short. And the Florida Gators are heading to the semifinals for the 2nd consecutive season. 3rd all-time in their history with an 11-9 win over Duke.
What a performance by Florida. First half offensive explosion, but there was the defense that held this team together with a 7-0 Duke run in that second half, Mike.
This side 27 in white for the Florida Gators, Gianna Monaco. She's going to be our Capital One player of the game. 2 goals and 1 assist, helping to lead Florida to victory here today and advance to Gillette Stadium.
She's the alpha of the attack, the only Gator to return in this 2025 season with 20-plus points from last season's Final Four team. She leads the team in goals, but to me, it was such an individual effort for her, but also the supporting cast. That's what makes this Florida offense go. They're so unselfish. When you can put together a performance like that where defenses have to guess who's going to score, that makes you so diversified in how you score goals.
Here's our updated bracket for you. Florida has advanced along with Northwestern. We've got 2 more to go. We've got BC and Yale at 5 and North Carolina and Princeton at 7:30. Dana, great to be with you as always. All the best in championship weekend.
Thanks,
as you
Mike.
continue on.
Ooh.
Fun one today from Gainesville. It was a hot one too, 93 degrees, and the Gators got off to the fast start. Duke with a monster comeback, falling 2 goals shy. That's all for us. Thanks for watching. For Dana Boyle, Mike Corey, so long from Florida. Let's get you to the studio now. Zubin Mehenti and Rachel DiCecca.
Every dream for your